Hello. The aim of this video is to explain the details of the daily check work scope. And here is the list view of the daily check. As you can see, there's some data set. We are not getting through these one by one. I will explain all of them in the record view when I'm explaining the details of the daily check record entry. And here we have the workflow of the daily check. As you can see, at starting point, there is a status named automatically generated. The reason of this status is that daily check structure is a little different than the other work orders like data log defect, cabin log defect, pre-flight, servicing, etc. Because in all these items, after you perform the job, you will come back and entering records by pressing here the insert button. Let's try this in the daily check. You will see that all fields are protected. Means that you don't have any right to insert any data. And also, let's go back to the list view. You cannot delete any data. Let's try, I press insert again. Let's try to delete something. As you can see, it's already locked. So this means that there are always in the system one existing open work order for each aircraft. And the word open is equals to that a daily check which is in automatically generated status. Let's see, and after that, when you perform this automatically generated status daily check, you will get in that record and you will insert your release information. And after that, the status of this daily check work order will become performed status, and afterwards another new daily check work order will be issued for suspect aircraft with automatically generated status. So this is the idea. Every time one automatically generated status daily check work order will be existing, and when you perform daily check, you will go to that automatically generated status daily check work order and insert your release information to indicate that you performed suspect daily check. Let's go back to the daily check view. Here, as you know, these are predefined filtering options. For example, let's press the hotel. And as you see, there are two work orders, and one of them is in automatically generated status. And as you can see, this registration specified items can be used to filter by registration, and after that it will be in order up to the due date, from recent to old. And as you can see, there are two others. One of them is work orders for MCC approval, and work orders and open daily check orders. As you can understand, open daily check orders, when you press that, since this is a test environment, we don't have one open daily check work order for each aircraft. We have only two. We are performing the test on three. When you press that in normal conditions, when you press that open daily check work order filtering option, there will be one automatically generated status work order for each registration. And when you perform that, you will come here, open that record by double clicking, or you can make like from here split view, or you can make, let's go back to the list view, and you can open record view by pressing here. And when you open that, you will fill the release information, and as I said before, the status will be changed to the performed, and another new one will be opened instantly. So before starting that, let's finish that work order workflow. And yes, okay. Here, as you can see, after you perform this job, the status will be performed, and another new one will be generated with additional automatically generated status. And after you made it performed, uh, related MCC staff must approve your job. This is not an approval for the job. This is just an approval that you know that assigned people performed this job. This is just a record control, like a record control that is already performing to check the hard copy data logs and etc. So in order to make this, you have to an MCC staff made this option from performed status to MCC, approved by MCC, and MCC staff must change the status of the record from performed to approved by MCC. There is a trick. If someone forgot to approve any job in their shift from MCC staff, engineering cannot start their processes. The system will be locked. So please take care of this. In the first days, there may be some errors on this issue, but I'm sure that in time it will be solved. And after MCC approve the document, approve the work order, the data is in engineering department sent afterwards. No one from maintenance department, like some certifying staffs, can modify any data afterwards. Only engineering department can modify that data. And here, a status approved by that means the document hard copy control to check that all data are correctly inserted in the system. And here, approved by engineer status mention the technical control of the data content by the engineers. If both processes are completed, engineers and by the dataist and statistic groups, after both controls performed, the status will be closed. So, as mentioned before, please be careful to approve all the job performed during your shifts in all aircrafts. And also by MCC staff, I mean the staffs from Antalya MCC group. They will also approve the works performed by the DCS group, which is the Dutch CS, Corendon Dutch Airlines staff. So these are all about the workflow. I will also give the details of that approval in our presentation, in our video, while explaining the data entry. So let's go back to the list view, and when we performed a daily check, we have to come here and press the open daily check work orders button, and we will have one automatically generated status record for each aircraft. We will select our registration. For example, let's work on hotel, this one. We double click on it, and record view was opened. In record view, as you can see, there is only limited data, which is the due date, planned date, and the registration. Registration and due date you can understand. I guess you can understand it. For the due date, this is adding 48 hours for NGs and 24 hours for classics to the last release date of the performed daily check, and it's generating this one in automatically generated status. And here planned on block and next phase information. In that areas. These areas were filled by the program. These two areas were filled by the program up to the due date information. For example, uh, since this is our due date, program will go through the flight plan and select the best available opportunity to perform this daily check to our bases. There is a place managed by engineering department into the system, which are mentioning our line maintenance stations. Program will check our base maintenance stations and offers the best solution, best performing time for this. And also before, for example, the aircraft will be landed to Antalya at 10th of November, 9:30 p.m. So, and afterwards, program will send email 5 hours before that landing. So you can make your planning in accordance with that. But since our updating information, our flight schedule is really so dynamic and that can be instant changed. Please also check with recent flight schedule sent by email from our commercial department. So this is this will be valid more than 99% maybe, but there is still a risk about updating the flight schedule because of the instant change. In any way, how will we enter a record? In all further work order page, you will see that we are filling only 3 fields: DSR, data log, and release date. For only, and normally in other work orders, these two fields, releaser and maintenance organization, will be filled automatically up to your user. For example, I connect with Adilaver, who is a member of the MCC group. Normally it will be written here Adilaver, and here it will be written that Corendon 145. Let's check this field. I will press that icon here. A screen like this will be opened. Here there are 3 options. One of them is Corendon 145, one of them is Corendon Dutch, one of them is other 145. When I entered with Adilaver, it means that he is the program will understand that he is a member of Corendon 145 organization, and right here Adilaver. And afterwards, and this will be automatically filled in all other work orders except daily check because of a technical reason. So we will perform for the generally we will only fill these 3 fields. I will repeat this information in all of the videos. Keep it simple. Every time enter 3 information: DSR, data log, and release date, and save the data at first. Okay, now I have to select a DSR, and for this purpose I cannot use this icon because it in that area the flight information, beginning of ground time, end of ground time information is not mentioned, so it's not convenient to select correct DSR. I have to double click over there, and afterwards I have to select the correct flight, DSR actually. Let's open the hotel aircraft DSRs. I have to check here, and if the arrival flight is not mentioned here, you can check from the flight number, beginning of ground time, end of ground time. If your DSR is not mentioned here, at that time you have to open a DSR from here. Look, we double click here, DSR, to the white field, and the DSR page opened. We checked afterwards the hotel DSRs. If we cannot find our DSR here, already opened DSR, we have to open it. You know how to open a DSR. Click here, new record button, and after that create your DSR by, sorry, it should be golf or hotel, by doing these actions. So I am trying to explain you that you don't need to go back to the DSR. You can open your DSR from here. At first check, and after that if you cannot find, you can open from here. Now since now I'm opening DSR, I have to select the flight and double click again the flight, and this page opened. Now I am filtering up to hotel. Now hotel performed hotel flights are listed. Possibly my flight will be one of the tops. I select the flight and press the return value. Don't forget every time to call a record, you always use that return value button, not double clicking. You will go to the record view at that time. Press return value, and that flight came here. Now I have to save this DSR record. Now my DSR is generated. As you can see, when I press the save button, the gray areas are filled. So if the gray areas are empty, you can understand that you didn't save the record. Since now I opened the DSR, and in suspect DSR, I can press return value again, and I call this DSR here. As normally it takes only 1 minute if you get used to enter data. And here, the data log now, you have to write here the number of the data log sheet which is existing at the right hand upper side. As you know, we in our data log sheets, it's written -1, -2 in each page, because in one A4 format page we have two flight log and technical log pages. One of them is mentioned with -1, one of them is mentioned with -2. So let's write it -1. If you write here -3 or something else, or if you will not write the part after dash, program will warn you. Be careful about it. And here is the release date. I will press space. The date field will filled, and press the save button, and the record will be saved. And after the record saved, let's check what was happened by going into the split view. Yes, let's filter. As you can see, we performed here a daily check, and another new automatically generated status was issued. Here the release date is at 10th of November, 5:35, and here the due date is calculated by adding 48 hours to the last release date. So when I double click here, there is a new automatically generated status work order. After somebody performed this, he will go through and perform the same action against. What are these actions? DSR, data log, and release information. One final information. Let's show you this information in an example. I will select here hotel aircraft and quickly select a DSR. And fill release information and data log and the maintenance organization. Yes, now it's finished. Let's try to save with this date. As you can see, there is an error message say that the release date must be between beginning of grant time and end of grant time. As you may remember, beginning of grant time and end of grant time is an information which is already containing by DSR. So you have to release that aircraft in the ground time interval. If your release date information, release date entry and the DSR ground time information are not matched, program will warn you like a message like this. And after that time, you have to make a double check that if you select the correct DSR, if DSR is correct, and also if you are really sure that your release date is here same, but the DSR have wrong data because of any reason, we have a method to not block your data entry. You can select this click out of beginning end of ground time click checkbox. When you check that checkbox, the program will allow you to save the record. As you can see, now we saved, but otherwise we have to stay between this range, which is the ground time of the DSR that we selected. And one more checkbox is existing here. Daily check was due on ground. It's written here. Sometimes you know that daily check was due on ground, and we are not performing daily checks for this. Normally, without this information, if I want to, let's select a date like this. And try to save. Inserted release date must be before daily check due date. So it says that the daily check was due. Please make a double check, and you make your double check. If you are pretty sure that you entered the correct release date, it means that daily check was due on ground. And after that, you can click that checkbox also and save the record. At that time, aircraft program will let you to save your record, and you can finish your action. So these checkboxes are meaning that up to the record you entered, you can use these options. But please try to use these checkboxes if it's really necessary, because these are necessary informations. Actually, these are all about daily check. Thank you for listening.